From IsReal News, this is the evening brief for Sunday, February 22nd. The New York Times reports U.S. President Donald Trump is leaning toward authorizing a limited military strike on Iran within days, while still pursuing diplomacy. According to the report, no final decision has been made, and another round of talks is expected Thursday in Geneva. U.S. officials are weighing options ranging from targeted strikes to broader action if negotiations fail. This comes as regional tensions rise and intelligence officials monitor possible retaliatory threats against U.S. interests. Israeli officials are closely watching the diplomatic track and military posture surrounding Iran. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has held consultations with senior security leaders on possible Hezbollah responses if conflict expands, according to Israel's Khan News. The discussions take place as Israel assesses the risk of a wider regional confrontation tied to developments with Iran. Separately, Israel's Channel 12 reports Netanyahu has expressed concern over U.S. policy direction in conversations with American counterparts. Officials say Jerusalem is seeking clarity ahead of expected diplomatic talks between Washington and Tehran. The development follows growing uncertainty over whether negotiations will produce limits on Iran's nuclear and missile programs. A member of Israel's Knesset Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee made remarks in an interview interpreted as a veiled reference to Israel's strategic deterrent capabilities in the context of a potential confrontation with Iran. The comments drew attention across Israeli political and security circles. This occurs amid heightened public and political rhetoric as tensions with Iran continue. Israel's coalition is preparing to reconvene a parliamentary committee to advance legislation that would limit judicial review over the appointment and dismissal of government ministers. The proposal, sometimes referred to as Dairy 2, could allow ministers to serve while facing criminal charges. The move reflects ongoing tensions between the government and the judiciary over the balance of authority. Israel's foreign ministry is urging Israeli citizens in parts of Mexico to avoid airports in Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta amid unrest linked to a military operation targeting a senior cartel figure. U.S. authorities also advised citizens in several regions to shelter in place as roadblocks and vehicle fires disrupted transportation. The unrest follows reports that a major cartel leader was killed during a security operation. Off Israel's northern coast, a 12th-century Crusader sword was discovered on the seabed near Dor Beach, south of Haifa. The 1-meter weapon was spotted by a University of Haifa student who alerted authorities. CT scans indicate the sword was likely brought from Europe and used by a Crusader knight. The discovery comes as maritime archaeological research continues along Israel's Mediterranean coastline, an area long associated with Crusader-era activity. This concludes the evening brief from IsReal News.
Israel is moving to heightened readiness as U.S. military posture across the Middle East expands, and timelines for a possible strike on Iran appear to be shortening. Washington says diplomacy remains the preferred path, but military options are actively being prepared. Iranian officials warn the nuclear gap with the United States may no longer be bridgeable. Stay with IsReal News for updates.